Hello, everybody. I am still on vacation, but duty calls. I have got to absolutely opine on what Candace Owens is out here doing. Yes, Candace Owens has put out a video where she is doing what she does, basically trying to show that Kamala Harris is white, not an African American like Kamala says she is. Right? So we got a lot to talk about, and I have a little bit of time to talk about it. I'm not in my regular studio, still on vacation. This is my last day, but I had to get in on this discussion. So stay with me because this is critical. I'm going to show you exactly what Candace Owens is trying to do. Stay with me. Hello, everybody. I am attorney Augustus Corbett, one half of the Defiant Lawyers. And each and every week, we bring you at least one legal analysis of some trending story regarding politics, policies, personalities, or pop culture to empower you with the information you need to defy this unjust legal system and to nullify systemic racism. If that interests you, please like, share, comment, subscribe, and click the bell so you'll get notification every time we drop one of these videos. All right, as always, please go to Amazon.com. Get your copy of my book, Education and Justice, if you have an African-American male child in public school. You need to know what I write about in this book so you can be your child's strongest advocate. All right? Thank you for getting your copy of this important book. All right, Candace Owens is out here in these streets doing everything she can to carry the water of white supremacists. Let's just be honest about it. Now, there are three things that she's attempting to do. I watched her video last night where she is going through the genealogical record of Kamala Harris, and she's trying to debunk Kamala's claim that she is a black woman, and it is really pathetic. But as an attorney, I know exactly what she's doing. All right. And I'm going to explain to you what she's doing and how we can counter what she's doing. So first of all, she's trying to create a scandal by arguing that Kamala is really white and that she lied about being black when she, for example, lied about the identity of the woman she claims was her grandmother. So she's saying that Kamala's book is ripe with lies. I mean, it's filled with lies because Kamala has the picture of her grandmother and some other pictures in the book. And Candace is saying that she basically lied when she said that this woman, this particular woman, was her grandmother. It is a crazy argument, but that's what she's doing. She's trying to create a scandal. She's trying to say that there's this big scandal because Kamala wrote a bunch of lies in her book to cover the fact that she is really an Indian white woman. I mean, it is crazy. I mean, you can see with your own eyes that Kamala is black, but Candace is out here desperately trying to create a scandal. And the reason why she wants a scandal so bad is because Kamala is basically scandal free. She's been a prosecutor for 30 years, right? And she's been elected over and over again. So she is desperate. The Trump team is desperate to create a scandal. So that's number one. Number two, she's trying to redefine Kamala. Kamala knows who she is, and she knows she is a black woman, and she knows that her forefathers on her father's side are black people. Although there is probably some mixture because, listen, that's the way things were during slavery. Those white men were raping those African women. I have it in my own family. Okay. For example, my great grandfather, my paternal great grandfather is a white man. I mean, a white man, full-blooded white man. So there is in my DNA quite a bit of European blood, quite a bit. But I'm still black. I am still an African American, because we know in this country, one drop of that black blood will make you black anyway. In other words, that's the way people will see you, right? And you do yourself a big favor if that's the way you see yourself. And so I love my blackness, although I have bona fide, I've done my DNA, I have bona fide white ancestors. So for somebody like Candace Owens or Donald Trump to say, well, Augustus just found out or just began to identify with his blackness, knowing that I've identified as a black person all my life, that's crazy. So she and Trump and that whole GOP thing, that whole MAGA thing, they are desperately trying to redefine Kamala and make Kamala who they want Kamala to be, not who Kamala knows that she is. So first, they're trying to create a scandal. Second, they're trying to redefine Kamala. And the third thing is the most problematic. They're trying to create a distraction. They're trying to create a distraction. And as I said earlier, I'm very familiar with this. As a litigator, as an attorney, when we're going up against opposing counsel, one of the things that opposing counsel loves to do is to get everybody's attention, to get the jury's attention off some basic facts, right? If it's a civil rights case, they don't want the jury focused on the fact that our client was discriminated against. If it's a criminal case, they don't want to focus, the prosecutor doesn't want to focus on the fact that our client could not have committed this crime because he was in another state. So what do? They create distractions. And that is exactly what Candace Owens and Donald Trump and Byron Donalds and that whole side over there are desperately trying to do. Keep the focus off, really, of two people, and one in particular. The first person they don't want focus on is Donald Harris, who is Kamala Harris's father. And as you see, it is obvious that this man is a black man. It is obvious. That is a brother. That's a black man. That's a black man. And if he is Kamala's father, which he is, then Kamala's black. Okay? And the second person, and most importantly, they really don't want focused on is Donald Trump. They don't want the country focused on Trump at all. They want to focus on Kamala's race, whether she's black, whether she's white. They want to focus on anything but Donald Trump, because all the baggage that he brings to the table, as well as the people around him, like Mark Robinson, they don't want you focused on Trump and Mark Robinson and Laura Loomer and all these other people. They want you focused on whether Kamala is black, whether she is white, whether her father is truly Jamaican, whether her father is the Marxist and all this other stuff, rather than focused on Donald Trump and Project 2025, the things that really matter here. They don't want us focused on those things. So what are they doing? They're doing exactly what opposing counsel does in our cases. They are trying to create distractions to take the jury's mind, and we are the jury, the American people. We are the ones who will decide who has made their case the best. And if we allow Candace Owens and others to take our focus off Donald Trump, then that increases their chance of winning, right? Because Trump's record is terrible. It is awful. Number one, he's a threat to our democracy. The man literally said he will be a dictator at least on day one. He told a group of Christians, If they reelect him, if they help reelect him, he will fix it where they won't have to vote again. He is a threat to democracy. He is chummy with a whole bunch of autocrats and authoritarian figures around the world. He is a threat to our democracy. He is a blatant white supremacist. We see that, we've seen it over the years, but we see that most recently when he claimed that black people, Haitians in this case, are stealing people's pets and eating them, dogs and cats. It's crazy to even say this, but it just shows you how much of a blatant white supremacist Donald Trump is. And that too, quite frankly, is a distraction. Because if he can get you and get us and the country, the media and everybody focused on this alleged claim that he made that Haitians are eating people's dogs and cats, what does that do? That takes the focus off him. It too becomes a serious distraction. So he's a threat to democracy. He is a blatant white supremacist. And I could go back at least 50, 60 years showing you how racist and how much of a white supremacist Trump is. But do your own research. He's also a threat to civil rights. As African Americans, we must keep our focus on who would be a threat to civil rights, because we are still very much enthralled in the fight for full equality. And therefore, protecting our civil rights is extremely important for us African Americans. We cannot allow him or Candace Owens or Byron Donalds, Tim Scott, all the rest of them to cause us to take our focus off what's really important here. And what's really important here is Trump and his malfeasance and his record and the threat that he is to this nation. He wants to take us back to Jim Crow. That's precisely what he means when he says he wants to make America great again. When was America ever great for blacks? Never. So he must be talking about Jim Crow or even worse, slavery. What else? He wants to implement Project 2025 and all the horrors of Project 2025. He wants to implement those things. He doesn't want us focused on Project 2025. He doesn't want us focused on his threat to civil rights. He doesn't want us focused on the fact that he's a white supremacist or a threat to our democracy. He wants us talking about Kamala Harris's race. He wants us talking about everything but what's important in this race. Don't you allow him to do that. He doesn't want us focused on the fact that he is a convicted felon 34 times and still faces criminal charges. He doesn't want us talking about that. He doesn't want us focused on that. That's the last thing he wants us focused on. So what are they doing? Creating distractions. Creating distractions. He doesn't want us focused on the fact that he's an insurrectionist, that he literally led a bloody, deadly insurrection against this country. He did everything he could to prevent the peaceful transfer of power. He created this big lie and used that lie to try to overturn, to basically commit a coup, rather than do what every American president has done since the founding of this country. Allowed a peaceful transfer of power once they were defeated in the elections. So he doesn't want us talking about the fact that he is an insurrectionist. He doesn't want us talking about any of that. He doesn't want us talking about COVID and how he mishandled that. And hundreds of thousands of people died unnecessarily. He doesn't want us talking about that. What does he want us talking about for the next 40-something days until November 5th? Kamala's race, or some fake scandal, or his attempt to redefine who that woman is. But we're not going to let him. We're not going to let him. We're going to stay laser focused on who this man is so that we can prevent that man from ever occupying 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue again. And how do we do that? Again, we stay focused. We get out to vote. We go vote. And by the way, I want you to go to a website. The website is iwillvote.com. And check to make sure that you're registered. Make sure that they have not removed your name. Make sure you are all ready to go. Share that website with other people. Again, it is iwillvote.com. I am not being hyperbolic when I say that this is the most important election in our lifetime, possibly for this country. Because if Trump gets in the White House, we already know what he and the others who are around him will do. They have made it very clear. All you got to do is go to Project 2025 and you will see their blueprint for this country. And it is essentially, it is an authoritarian, autocratic attempt at preserving white supremacy. That's what it is. Bottom line. All right. So we can't get distracted, folks. We cannot let Candace Owens distract us, nor can we allow her to redefine Kamala Harris, nor can we allow her to create some sort of fake scandal. There is nothing there. Kamala Harris, there is nothing there, has been, again, a career prosecutor with an exemplary record. It is Donald Trump's record that they fear. All right, so I had to bring that to you. I had to take a little time off my vacation, my last day of vacation, to make sure you understand what's going on with Candace Owens. It's really simple. Don't get into her fast talking. Don't get into her so-called facts. Don't do that at all. Ignore her. Ignore all that she's saying and stay focused on Donald Trump. All right. I'm Attorney Augustus Corbett, one half of the Defiant Lawyers. Thank you for watching this video. And until the next time, peace.